Welcome to St Mary's Church in the Lace Market for a special service for Remembrance Sunday. I'm Owen Shipton. Arguably, not since the Second World War has Nottinghamshire, Britain and the world faced the levels of worry, trauma and anxiety that we faced during this pandemic. We're bringing you a programme here that is as close as possible to the service that would normally be held here, with some changes for safety, of course. There's no congregation. This church would normally be full. Instead, everybody at the church is here involved in a role in the service, laying a wreath, for instance, or involved in the broadcast of the service. Other events up and down the county have, of course, had to be cancelled or adapted so that they can happen outside. One event that is going ahead is happening tonight on the Victoria Embankment, a really special one. These are poppies that will be cascaded on the War Memorial on the embankment. If you do go down, make sure you remember all the important rules about social distancing and try not to get too close to anybody else who is there. Well, joining me now to discuss today's service is the Bishop of Sherwood, the Right Reverend Dr. Andrew Emerton. Andy, thanks for joining us. This is going to be your first Remembrance Sunday service in the role, and quite a different one. There is a row raging in Nottinghamshire local politics, and it's all to do with one thing. The County Council wants to scrap district and borough councils. You're talking about places like Rushcliffe Borough Council, Mansfield District Council, and replace them with one big body. And that could have serious positives for you. It would be more streamlined for you, and it could also cut costs.
I'm back with Marcellus Baz from the Nottingham School of Boxing, here to talk about a fighter he knows very well and who's chalked up another professional win tonight, Amari Grant.
8 wins, 8 fights, Amari Grant. Very excited about this kid. We were here not long ago when he last fought, and he looked tired, it was messy.
Let's talk about one of the fights we've not yet seen this evening, Echo Esserman versus Tyrone Nurse, headline fight on the card. What are your hopes, your expectations?
I think that it's a risk for Echo to be jumping that much because Tyrone's coming with a lot of experience.
Well, let's hear from the man himself, Echo Esserman, laying his English title on the line tonight to fight experienced, tough, savvy boxer Tyrone Nurse. Win, and he could make the step and open a pathway to more big fights.
I'd like to ask as well about job losses, people leaving their jobs too. It's a big story in the news today. Here in Gedling, there are 1,865 more people claiming out-of-work benefits than there were in March. We've heard about big employers in the region, I'm thinking specifically of Boots and Rolls-Royce, cutting jobs too. How serious are the problems in terms of the labour market for an area like Nottinghamshire?
Well, warning lights are going off across the entire economy.
Labour promising to redistribute the centre of power a little bit, shake things up, move funding, move decision-making powers out of the South East to places like the Midlands and like the North. What would you do to make sure an area like Nottinghamshire has more of a say in the corridors of power?
I do think that devolution is important, and I want to see devolution to towns, to cities.
Having left Labour, it seems you're no longer going to be an MP, you must be in a position to say things that you weren't once in a position to say, and I wonder if I asked you to let loose on the state of British politics, what you would say.
To be fair, I have been pretty frank about the state of particularly the Labour Party for the last few years. It's one of the reasons that I was being attacked in my local party.
In your opinion, does Jeremy Corbyn need to leave the Labour Party, need to no longer be leader?
What I found was interesting is right up until 9:59 p.m, they were all saying, "Oh, Jeremy Corbyn" was the song. After 10:01 and the exit poll, people were saying, "Oh, what a bad idea it was having Corbyn in charge of the Labour Party." Too late.
Nottinghamshire expats say the EU referendum may mean they have to move back to Britain.
If push comes to shove and we have to return to the UK, so be it. That's what we'll have to do.
Hear more in the second part of Notts TV's EU referendum coverage from Spain. A mum from Clifton who's been catching online predators for more than a year by setting up fake social media profiles has turned her attentions to Facebook, where she says an even bigger problem is festering. Jo Stubbs is part of Facebook Hunters, which is tracking down and reporting people who share indecent images of children online. Jo, thanks for joining us. I'm wondering if you can give me some idea of the scale of the problem.
It's immeasurable. It's absolutely massive. There's thousands and thousands of pages. an uncountable amount of people that are involved in all of this.
It's worth putting Facebook's point of view across here. We did contact them. They say they've got a zero tolerance for child exploitation on Facebook. They say that this illegal behaviour is rare on the platform. When they do find it, they immediately remove it and they report it to relevant law enforcement agencies. They also say they work with safety experts around the world. You must come into contact with some fairly horrible stuff that we don't even particularly want to talk about in detail on the television at this time of day. I'm wondering what impact that has on you, what toll that takes on you.
I've just learnt to compartmentalise everything.
One of the areas it seems you've chosen to focus on this evening is Broxtowe. It's an area that, depending on your position, stands to benefit or suffer from the arrival of the high-speed 2 rail route. You voted against the construction of the HS2 rail link from London to Birmingham in 2016. You've since been absent for 2 votes on HS2. How do you weigh up the arguments for an area like Broxtowe? And at heart, are you for or against HS2?
Look, I'm for high-speed rail. I think we need more infrastructure.
This Freeport area, though, stands to extend much further than just the airport. In fact, the government says it will allow Freeports to extend for up to 25 miles. And one key part of the bid in the East Midlands is Ratcliffe-on-Soar Power Station, which you can see smoking away in the distance behind me. It currently runs on coal, but the plans are to decommission it and then to kit it out with zero carbon green technology. One of the people who's been backing that idea is Rushcliffe MP Ruth Edwards.
The Ratcliffe-on-Soar site in Rushcliffe in particular is going to become a green technology hub.
After Dunkirk, Radford and Teversall all booked their place in the semi-finals, the pressure was on the highest ranked team in the competition, Basford United, to follow suit. They'd gone on frankly a sensational run this season, going 27 games unbeaten. Their opponents in the quarter-finals, Kimberley Miners Welfare. Danielle Hall's got all the action and this lady's got a really big football rattle. I'm being told to relax, but I'm playing against Britain's best here.
Yes,
and it's
nice.
intense. If I pass one of you the microphone, then the other one can show me something. What are you going to be telling me?
Well, I'm going to show you our most iconic trick, which is our ball spin. You know, if you hold your finger up right here, just like that now. I tell kids all the time, the key to this trick is a good smile, all right? So you got to make sure you smile.
I think it's more of a grimace. I'm worried it's going to fly into somebody's face.
There you go.
Well, thank you so much, Dr. Irfan Malik. Thank you as well to the Reverend Tom Gillam and everyone at St Mary's Church. Thank you to the various councils who've been involved in making sure that as many people as possible get to watch this special moment. Thanks very much for watching. Bye-bye.